Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Life, Happiness, and the Pursuit of Balance. I have a really important topic this week. We are talking about shifting the mindset away from the scale. And this has come up a lot for me lately, which is why I am addressing it here. I've been seeing a lot of posts on Facebook. I have my 80-day obsession test group going on. And it's been so interesting to watch and see people's changes, both physically, but also mentally, and just how many people are realizing that the scale is not the only determining factor of your success. And you know, I talk about this all the time. Like, I am not a big fan of the scale. I don't like people to weigh themselves more than once a week at most. Like, I even say once every 2 weeks, just because so many changes happen in your body every single day. And if you get obsessed about the number on the scale, it can get really discouraging. You can get on the scale one day and weigh one weight, and you can get on the scale the next day and be up a pound or two or down a pound or two. It's very normal for the scale to fluctuate within a 2 to 3 pound range, just depending on how much water you've had, how much salt you've had, if you're a woman, if you're near that time of the month. Did you work out really hard? Do you have extra blood volume? Are you working out really hard to build lean muscle? Because you're gonna build lean muscle and it's going to weigh more. So all of these things are other factors about the scale. And so often I see people say, well, the number on the scale has to be this. And that's just the number you've picked. It's not even necessarily a number that your doctor's given you, or you've read or done a formula to figure out what's a healthy weight for myself. It's just sort of like we pick a number and we decide that if we don't weigh that number, we're not having success. So what I want to do is shift the mindset away from that, and this is all about balance, and find other non-scale victories, other ways to determine your success, because there are so many. So the first thing I always tell people to do is, when you're starting a new health and fitness routine, exercise, eating right, that sort of thing, there's 3 things you want to do. Yes, you can check the number on the scale. Fine, it's one way of measuring it. But you also want to take photos. And photos are great to take once a week, because when you look at yourself every single day in the mirror, you don't always see the little changes that are happening over time. So you look at the mirror and you're like, nothing's happened. And you look in the mirror and you don't think anything's happened. And then all of a sudden you take a photo from the week before and compare it to the next week, and you're like, oh, things are happening. I see a little bit more definition. My waist looks a little bit leaner. My legs look a little bit more tight, muscular, that sort of thing. So having photos is a really great way to track your success and see those changes that happen week to week and month to month and that sort of thing. Another thing you can do is take measurements. This is great because muscle and fat actually they weigh the same thing. It's sort of a myth that muscle weighs more than fat, but muscle takes up less room in your body than fat does. So if you have excessive fat on you, you're gonna see that as it presses your skin out. But if you put on lean muscle and shred the fat, everything's gonna be a little bit tighter. So the inches can come down even as you trade fat for muscle, meaning you're burning calories, you're building muscle. So the scale might not move a whole lot, but the inches will come down significantly. And if you look at any of my social media, I've got great representations of this right now from people in my 80-day obsession group. There's one girl she weighs 270 pounds. She's on her journey. She's doing amazing. She has fluctuated within 3 pounds this whole time, and we're at day 67. And yet she's lost over 25 inches across her body. She looks like she's lost 30 pounds. So if you ask me what matters more, I'm like, she's clearly on the right track and her body is clearly responding. That's why we don't only obsess about the number on the scale. So take measurements. Common places to measure would be your bicep. So you take all the way around, you do this with a measuring tape. You come around your chest, right through the nipple, that's both for men and women, so that you can measure your chest size. Then you take around your midsection, right through your belly button, that's your waist. And then you take around the widest part of your hips, with your feet all the way together, touching. Obviously, if you stand with your feet apart, you're adding inches. So make sure your legs are all the way together. And then you wanna measure your thighs as well. And you're gonna do your pinky finger and your thumb, and you can just put your pinky in the middle of your knee, and wherever your thumb lands, that's where you're gonna take the measurement, because you'll hit the same spot every time, and it's really important that you hit the same spot every time. So we're gonna take photos, we're gonna do measurements, we're gonna take the number on the scale as just one thing. But then there's other things that you can look at as well. When you're doing your workouts, are you getting stronger? Are you lifting more weight? That's a victory. That means your health is moving in the right direction, your fitness is moving in the right direction. Is your endurance better? Like, is your cardiovascular strength better? So as you're doing a cardio workout, are you finding it easier to control your breath? That's huge. That is a big success, because that means your heart and your lungs are getting stronger. How do your clothes fit? That's another big deal. Often we're only obsessing about that number on the scale, and like I said, lean muscle takes up less room in our body. So that number on the scale might not change a ton, and all of a sudden you put on a pair of pants and you're like, why are these falling off of me? Because you are losing fat and you're building muscle. Are you sleeping better at night? Is your skin more clear? Is it glowing? You'll notice your skin clears up, your eyes get brighter. All these things change. Like I said, you sleep better at night. So the scale is one thing, and yes, it's fine to use it as one measurement, but you need to use other things to measure it too, because it is all about balance, and you're not gonna find balance in your health and fitness journey if you only ever obsess about the number on the scale. That number does not define you. It doesn't tell you how healthy you are. It doesn't tell you if you're eating your veggies and eating your fruit and drinking your water. It doesn't tell you if you're getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep at night. Like, it just doesn't include everything. So it's really, really important when talking about finding balance in life to celebrate all of the non-scale victories along the way. And having that weight loss goal, that's great. It's a goal, and we're gonna actually talk about this in next week's episode about setting goals. But for some people, when they have a very big weight loss goal, if that's the only thing you're ever focused on, it can get really discouraging too. So that's again why we have all these other little non-scale victories that you can set for yourself to shift your mind away from the scale. Even saying, okay, every night this week, I'm gonna make sure I get at least 8 hours of sleep. If you do that, oh my gosh, you're gonna be so shocked at how good your body feels, because lack of sleep does affect your weight. It does it in a few reasons, because when you sleep is when your body has time to recover and repair. So that's where all the beauty and all the magic happens. But in addition to it, when you get enough sleep, you have enough energy when you wake up. And if you have enough energy, you don't necessarily crave as bad of foods as you would if you didn't get enough sleep. When you're tired, your body looks for an energy source, and you'll find that you tend to crave sugar more, because sugar is a very easy, readily available energy source to your body. So sleep is really gonna play into helping you along the way. So if you set that goal of like, I'm gonna get 8 hours of sleep a night, and you achieve it after 7 days, that's a non-scale victory. You can celebrate that. Has nothing to do with the scale, but I promise you it's gonna help you along your journey to health and fitness. So there it is, you guys. Really take the time to not only focus on what your overall health and fitness goal is, but all of the little victories that come along with achieving it. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week. Like I said, we'll be talking about setting goals and how to achieve them with baby steps that lead up to the big goal. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.